This dent suffered some paint damage, but did you know that a qualified paintless dent removal technician can repair this without doing any kind of repainting or bodywork? Stay tuned for the results. Hey guys, my name is Bryce with Central Florida Dent Repair. Today we're going to be doing what's called a paintless dent removal on this dent right here. We're going to fix this without doing any kind of paint work. At first glance, this dent looks like it may need to go to the body shop, but the fact of the matter is, this is actually what we would call a paint transfer in the business, where essentially, paint is left on the vehicle from the impact. So if you look over here, that little corner post right there is what she hit, and it left the house paint on the actual vehicle here. So a lot of this is just that paint, and we're going to buff this out and then repair the dent. She's going to be left with like a little bit of a chip right here on this plastic bumper cover, and that's about it really. So the alternative is to repair this at a traditional paint and body shop, which is pretty extensive because they have to paint a big portion of the vehicle to get this metallic paint to match the rest of the vehicle. So I'm going to show you a couple other examples as well, so stay tuned. All right, first step is we're taking some polishing compound and applying it to the area using a high-speed polisher to get in those crevices there. And we're constantly moving because you don't want to burn the paint doing this. Takes a little bit of finesse. And from there, we're on to the actual dent repair itself. And as you can see, I've got the bumper cover pushed to the side there, and I've got a nice opening underneath there where I can insert my tool and just slowly manipulate this metal back to its original shape using the paintless method. And we've got this sped up a little bit just so you don't have to sit through a long repair. And right there, you see some tap down work going on, and that's actually just another way to manipulate the metal from the outside of the panel rather than the inside. Here is the final product here, just as we anticipated. A little bit of a chip right there. You can see actually a little bit of damage to the quarter panel as well, but she's going to have that touched up. This is a really nasty dent on a brand new 2019 Chevy Traverse. This customer actually had the touch-up paint on hand and wanted me to just touch it up when I'm finished. You can see that the paint there is kind of damaged on the edge there, but really tough repair. It took me a really long time to do this, and this is kind of like the halfway stage. You can still see there's some transfer right there, which we're going to buff out. Still have quite a bit left on this fender here to do as far as the fine tuning is concerned, but here's the final outcome. Big change from what we had before. You can see a little touch-up area that we applied some touch-up paint, and this customer can basically just get back in their vehicle and drive away if they wanted to. The car is left in its original condition, 100%, nothing changed or altered in the process of repairing it, and no diminished value as well on such a brand new vehicle. All right, here's a special repair. This is a 2004 Lexus RX 350. This vehicle is absolutely pristine other than the dent. They've had this dent for a long time. Customer actually found me on YouTube, believe it or not. Drove all the way down from West Virginia to have this done. They were just basically doing the research, and they couldn't find somebody to fix it with this method, and I took it on, and I was able to deliver on this one. Spent a really long time fine-tuning this thing, making it right for this customer. Really loves their vehicle, and very, very happy in the end. All right, and here is a 2008, I believe, 5 Series BMW. It's got some pretty significant damage on the rear door, as you can see, as well as the dog leg. That's the area right in front of the tire there. And there's a little bit of paint damage right there and right there, which we're going to touch up. Believe it or not, this is an insurance paid for job, and this is the route that the customer wanted to take. All right, we'll go behind the scenes here and show you how we do some glue pulling, and we're essentially just taking some hot glue, putting it on one of those green tabs you see there, and pulling it. We're pulling the damage out, just kind of starting it, and then I took the rocker panel off, as you see there, and I've got some nice access from behind the panel. We're going to take one of the paintless dent removal tools, and we'll insert it into one of those little holes there. That was where one of the little plastic inserts go, and I just pulled that out, and we got a nice tool in there from the backside. Now we can really fine-tune what we need to from the backside. All right, I'll show you how we repaired this door. We pulled that little factory plug out and inserted a paintless dent removal tool to the back side of the panel. And just keep an eye on the center of the door there. In the reflection of the light, you'll see it kind of sweeping up and down. And that's exactly what we're using that light for. As we're repairing the dent, we can kind of see where our tool is at all times. And this repair result was really great. Another happy customer on this one for sure. We did this at their house in a matter of hours and not days. And this vehicle's left 100% original. There's the touch-up areas right there. Touch-up paint is certainly not a perfect thing, but it's going to take your eye off looking at bare metal, or it's not going to draw your eye as opposed to what you had before, which was just kind of like a white area on a blue car. The contrast really drew your eye. Another way to describe it is one of my buddies in the industry would say, it's kind of like a blue button on a blue polo shirt. It's there. You're not absolutely staring at it, but overall a better solution if you're not looking to paint your vehicle. And the damage just keeps getting worse. This particular one here, we had kind of a combination going on here, some paint damage right along the edge and a couple little spots as well. But the rest of that's all paint transfer, so a lot of it will buff out. This customer needed this vehicle for work every day, was unable to leave this at a body shop for an extended period of time. Some of the body shops wanted to replace the bedside on it. Some of them wanted to do a traditional repair, which would require some body work and body filler. But this is the route he ultimately went with, paintless dent removal. You can see there's some, those are the chips that are left over there in the paint after the paintless dent repair took place. And we applied some GM touch-up paint, which is just a dealership quality touch-up paint, just a standard white, and it came out great. The touch-up paint is there, of course, but you really have to get up close and personal to know where it was and for it to be visible. But another excellent result using the paintless method. All right, a behemoth of a dent on this left fender of this Ford Mustang. I got to tell you, this was a super challenging repair. We're really pushing the limits of paintless dent removal on this one, but this customer wanted it done this way. Apparently, this is a really hard color to match at a body shop. They just didn't want to run that risk of painting the whole front end and things not matching. Kind of an older car, and it just made more sense to him to have it done this way. There's the paint damage on the edge, and there's some paint transfer as well up there, which we were able to buff out. It took me a really long time to do this repair. I think it was upwards of 8 hours plus. And you see our leverage setup, the thing we're prying against there, that's actually a piece of extruded aluminum we call 80/20. It comes in really handy for these repairs. All right, so we've got our big light out, and you can look at the reflection of the light on the panel, and you can tell it's nice and flat. And we had a really satisfied customer for sure on this one. All right, I'd like to take the time to say thank you for stopping by and watching this video. Hopefully you learned something new, despite of what you may have heard in the past about paintless dent repair not being a good process. If there is paint damage, that's not true. We can repair your dents even though there is paint damage. Of course, there are some stipulations, but for sure, this is definitely a viable option if you're looking to have your car repaired without painting. Thank you for stopping by. My name is Bryce Kelly. Have a good day.